Hey YouTube, what's up? Today is Wednesday, July 30th, 2014, and this is officially my thank you video to Saint Expedite. I posted a video a couple days ago, I believe it was on the 28th, just going over some brief things with you guys about my current workings with him. Well, I'm happy to report that today he actually came through for me in a great way. So this is my setup, my cleaned altar, my setup, and my thank you to him. As you can see, I have his pound cake presented before him, as well as his nickels in the triangular formation. I also presented him with a fresh glass of water, because I'm sure he's quite thirsty after working as hard as he did for me, and fresh red roses as well. As soon as the blessing came through, I immediately went out and got these things and paid tribute and thanks to him. Over here is just some of the things that I actually used, just some, not all, but some of the things that I actually used while working with him in the petition. These two empty candles here, of course, Saint Expedite candles, these are the very first two candles that I started using when I initially made the petition. This particular petition that I asked from him has been in the works now for, actually it's been a month now, well, three and a half weeks, almost a month now. And I gave him the deadline of July 31st, 2014, which is actually tomorrow. But him and his great glory came through for me today, the day before my deadline. So I will admit that it has been a little struggle, but all the while I did keep the faith, and all the while I kept praying to him, and I kept coming to him and just presenting different things to him and pretty much asking for open doors and open opportunities. So after I received my blessing, of course I went out and got all the things that I said I would in reference to him, to pay him homage. But I also was able to go again to my local Botanica and just stock up on some essentials. So as you can see there, I picked up 5 more 7-day Saint Expedite candles that I will definitely use at some point in the near future, or whenever I see fit. I also stocked up on some more incense. I'm a big fan of using patchouli and using sage, of course, as you know. Those are good cleansers. Those are good incense to use to smoke things, to drive out negative entities, negative forces, and pretty much just to create a positive workspace. Of course, I was running low. Let me get this here. Running low on Florida water, so I did pick up a brand new bottle of that while I was out. And this, down here in my oil section, this one here actually stood out to me. I never knew that they carried it. See if I can get it in focus. Sorry about that. But this is actually, come on. Sorry about the bright light, guys. But this is actually Saint Expedite oil that my local Botanica carries. Of course, it's a little plain. It doesn't really have any herbs or extra ingredients into it. But what I would definitely do is take some things that are significant to Saint Expedite and pretty much significant to me, and I will definitely create this and just doctor it up, if you will. Of course, as you guys know, I use patchouli, which is that middle one there, and of course I use some healing oils and a little bit of attraction oil. Not all of these oils were used in conjunction. I didn't use them all at the same time, pretty much just different ones at different times. What I have learned is that while working with him, I was actually able to incorporate some personal effects of mine into it. So what I did was I also attached a lodestone in my personal mojo or gree bag to the altar setup to pretty much personalize it and to use the personal spirit that I carry with me in conjunction with my working altar. So I found that all of these methods were very successful. I'm extremely appreciative from the bottom of my heart, and it's really funny. Well, not so much funny, but it's just really shocking to me because the way that he manifested, it was just pretty unexpected, just out of the blue completely. I actually was in bed a couple hours ago. Actually was in bed just doing some YouTube research and just looking up some different things online, and thinking about, you know, making some trips to some bookstores just to pretty much look up some different information on working with the orishas in particular. And while I was doing that, I actually got a text message, unexpected of course. So I went to check the text message, and the message was actually a message from my bank account saying that a pretty significant sum of money was just deposited into my bank account. Of course, this was completely unexpected, and the source from where the funds had came from was something that I was not expecting at all. Like, I had no dealings with this organization, no correspondence, no anything. Like, I pretty much knew that all my ties were pretty much severed from this particular organization, so I wasn't expecting to hear back from this particular organization at any point, at any time. So the funds were actually deposited into my checking account, and what I went and did was I, called my bank just to verify that it was an accurate or real transaction, and they in fact told me that it was a genuine deposit. So I immediately became ecstatic and went and definitely paid some bills that I needed to pay with that particular money. And it wasn't the full amount that I had asked St. Expedite for, but either way I was extremely grateful for it. So while I was on my way out to pay these particular bills, I'm leaving my house and I go outside to check the mailbox because I hadn't been outside all day, hadn't left my home. And I checked the mailbox, and there was a few pieces of mail in there, a cable bill and some junk mail and some other things. And amongst those pieces of mail was actually a credit card, believe it or not. Not a credit card offer, but a credit card. It was actually kind of shocking to me because I got the offer for the credit card about 2 weeks ago in the mail, and I actually sent away for it and got a phone call from one of the organizations saying that I had been approved for it and that they would take about 2.5 weeks or so to send me the card in the mail. So I really wasn't expecting it to come anytime soon. But surprisingly enough, the card actually came in the mail today. So that was a little overwhelming and shocking for me, to say the least. And to basically prove it to you guys that he did manifest in a way that I asked for him to, I'll show you the card and the letter that actually came in the mail. I'll show you a quick glance because it has my personal information on it, and I really don't want to, have that information on YouTube. But yeah, so that's the card, and that's the letter that was attached to it. Of course, it is all official there. So again, there's the card, and there's the letter. Sorry about that, but again, it has my personal information on it. But I just had to share this information with you guys as a testament to Saint Expedite and his power. He is very, very, very much alive and very much real. Oh, the biggest blessing of them all, I almost forgot. So after I got the mail and paid some bills, I was actually on my way to my local Botanica to pick up again some supplies that I needed just in case, and just good to have in case of emergencies. And as I pulled up to the local Botanica, my phone rings. So of course it's from an unknown number, and I answer the phone, and it's actually the employer for a job that I applied for in the beginning of July. Yeah, end of June, beginning of July. I interviewed for the position about 2 weeks ago and just got a call back today with an offer to take the position. Of course, I was ecstatic. I was overjoyed. I said yes. It was actually a little too surreal. I almost kind of cried a little bit, but of course I accepted the position, making significantly more than what I make now, with a completely different hospital. I'll be, with one of the top hospitals in the country here on the East Coast, depending upon where you guys are. I live in Baltimore, Maryland. If you guys are familiar or have ever been or just know anything about Baltimore, yeah, we're pretty big on hospitals here. But yeah, I've been accepted to work at one of the top leading hospitals in the country, making significantly more than what I do now in a position and career field that I absolutely love. So 3 blessings back to back to back within a matter of hours. Like, unbelievable. Like, seriously. So, of course, again, I thank you, Saint Expedite, from the bottom of my heart. I will definitely continue to invoke your name, spread your love, spread your gospel, have others come to you in time of need, have others petition to you. Just get your name out there and continue to work with you on a personal level, because you came through for me and I'm just stoked. I really don't know much else to say at this particular point other than thank you. To the viewers or the people who may come across this video, I do have one particular question though about Saint Expedite, and maybe you guys may be able to answer this for me. Feel free to leave me a message, leave me a comment, email me, get in touch with me any way you deem fit. The question is, are you able to, or can you work with Saint Expedite on behalf of someone else? Or does the person have to work with them specifically for their own particular needs? I guess my question stems from a friend of mine who actually had some concerns and just, needed some help with some things. And of course, I've been putting some things into motion, working with some other deities and other saints in spirits on his behalf, and it's been working, but it's a slow process. So he wants to know if there's anything else I can do, or he can particularly do, to try to speed up the process. I did recommend to him Saint Expedite and working with him himself, but he's not really comfortable with taking the route of invoking different deities and saints and spirits, just because he's pretty new to the whole thing. He doesn't want to burn a bridge, so to speak, with or owing a debt, or just pretty much taking something out of context, which is completely understandable for someone who's not familiar with working with any entity or deity or of the liking. But that's my question to you guys. If you know the answer, or if you can help me in any way, shape, or form, definitely leave me a message, comment, email me, Facebook me, get in touch with me any type of way, and just let me know. I will definitely have more videos up in the near future with some of my workings and just some updates on some different saints, deities, and petitions, and just different things in general that I have been working with. But this is my Saint Expedite. Thank you. And I will definitely share his name with others, and definitely use this particular saint again. Peace and blessings. Peace.